Right, testing 1, 2, 3. If you can hear me, just let me know in the comment section. This is my first time using the YouTube Live function, so let me know and I'll get started. All right? Yeah, just use the comment section on the right side corner I see there, and I'll get started soon shortly. Just want to wait for a while to make sure everything is working well, and we'll get started soon. Right, just gonna see if everything works all right here. Okay. Right, just gonna see if everything works all right here. So just let me know in the comment section and I'll get started off. Yeah. So again, thanks for being here. We'll get started off really quick in another 2 minutes or so. We'll start at 8:05 p.m. Hey, my name is Ruben, and I just want to make sure that you can see me loud and clear right now. And today we're going to talk about scaling your business with Facebook ads. So I'm going to go a bit deeper into Facebook ads today and show you some ways you can actually scale with it. And if you have questions along the way, just use the chat section on the side here. I think I can see that here, yeah. And I'll be happy to answer you. Okay? All right, so I'm going to get started soon. Can anyone hear me? Am I live right now? Right, so if you can hear me, right, just let me know in the chat section. Just like give me something like, yes, I can hear you, Ruben, and I get started. All right? Because I don't see anything in the chats. And this is my first time running a YouTube live session, so I'm sure after this we'll improve the whole session again. I'm always quite used to you doing Zoom streaming, so well. Let me just see this. All right, can you hear me? Whoop, whoop, whoop. All right, so thanks again for telling me that. So let's get started soon. This video, I'll show you how to... shh. All right, so let's get started. I'm going to change into my screen again. So I'm using OBS. I'm not sure if you guys know that, right? If you are good at OBS, let me know what I can do to improve my setup here. And yeah, that'll be really, really helpful. Okay, I'm going to go into my second screen. Okay. Now let me know anytime within this session if you don't see something that is going right. I'm just going to test my screen again. So sorry again for this, guys. I know that it's not as smooth as I wanted it to be. But yeah. Let me just see if I can see myself on screen and everything's all right. And I'll get started real soon. So today we're going to talk about scaling your ads with Facebook and looking towards actually, increasing your sales basically with Facebook ads. Oh, I see that my screen is like half in there. Let me just try to fix this quick, yeah? If I can't fix this, then I'll just go on with the that documents in here. So weird. Right. How do I fix this? Anyone knows how to fix this on the screen itself? Huh. You know what? Let me just change this into something that everyone can see. I'll just go into it because the slides here today are very simple. We're going to do more practical today, so not so much on the slides itself. Okay, so let me just pull down this slide here and see I can quickly show you something like that. Works as well, huh? All right. So sorry for that little messed up here, but I'm going to run it this way, and that's good enough. Yeah, so if you can see this is good enough. Thanks. All right, so thanks again for joining me in this session. This session will be recorded and be available on YouTube itself. It's going to take about an hour for me to go through all these things, and let's get started. So the agenda today, and if you don't know who am I yet, my name is Ruben, head of marketing and lead, and well, I do marketing, okay? So today we're gonna talk about how to scale your Facebook ads. All right. So I'm sure some of you today who have joined this session, you are people who you are doing Facebook ads already, and you want to actually scale up your Facebook ads so that you're in the right place, right? Number two, we're gonna go into some practical sessions and walk through behind the scenes. So it's not so much on the slides I'm showing you here. It's gonna be more practical where I'm gonna show you behind my ads manager. All right. And of course, let's make this like a two-way kind of session. So if you have suggestions, questions along the way, I'd love to hear from you as well. All right. And of course, at the end of the session, I'll introduce you to Growth Marketing 360, which is a program at Lead where I'm teaching and also coaching, where I'll be teaching businesses how to increase their revenue with growth marketing. So anyway, let's get started with today's session. So I'm going to assume today that you have been running Facebook ads already. Okay, so you are a business today. Maybe you're an individual. Maybe you do ads for a company, right? You already do Facebook ads for someone, right? So we can get tactical here, and we can start to talk about how we can actually run better ads. So that's my plan today. Okay. Just sorry for this. All right. So next of all, because I'm going to assume most of you run ads already, we are going to talk about optimization. So today we're going to go a bit deeper into ads. And the truth is, right? The truth is a lot of people don't optimize their ad enough. We run ads, we run using the boost post feature, but we don't actually optimize it enough, right? I think that's true. So I want to ask a quick question to all of you here today, right? How do you currently optimize your campaign? How do you currently do that for your campaign? What is the steps that you take to optimize your ad campaigns, your ad sets, your ad campaigns? What do you do? Do you increase the budget after a few days? Do you actually switch campaigns? Do you switch your audiences in a few days? Or what do you do? Can you just type that down in the chat section so I know what you do? Wow, I fixed this little window thing so you can see better here, okay? Type it down, type it down. All right. You can see that I'm reciting this by little and little. All right, now I got it in the middle. Nice, huh? So I think YouTube has a bit of a lag, like 1 minute kind of thing. So I'll just move on from here, right? But I'm seeing your questions, I'm seeing your comments, and it'll be great if you can put in your comments. All right. All right. So the next thing, moving forward, right? Now the thing is, it's not your fault if you don't run and optimize ads enough, right? Because running and optimize ads is a full-time job. If you go and look in the job market itself, go to Job Street, go to anywhere that you can find job listings and search for PPC strategies, search for marketing strategies, and you see that all these people, they are searching for people, right, to work full-time on running ads. So the truth is, if you don't actually optimize the ads enough, it's not because you are bad at it, or it's not because you are wrong or whatever, but because running ads and optimizing that takes so much time, and it's a full-time effort. It's not like a one-person kind of thing. So yeah, and you normally give up after seeing the reports. You stop the ads because you don't know what to do. You're overwhelmed. Yeah, and I totally understand that because it happens to everyone, and that's the truth. Okay. All right, so enough of that. Let's get into more actionable stuff. Now, in every session that I do, webinars, workshop, or even live like this, you know that I'm someone who wants to get into action. So it's not so much about talking about this and that, what you should do, what you should avoid, but let's get into doing real stuff. So today, I'm going to show you 4 things, actually condensed into 4, but breaking it up to 4. One, we have dark posts and ads. So I'm going to talk about dark posts and also running ads on dark posts, show you how to do that. If you have heard of it, great. I mean, if you have done it already, great. If you have heard of it, then today you're going to learn something new using dark posts to run ads. Yeah, it's very effective, but also do it with some precautions. Number 2, we're going to talk about tracking conversion objectives with Facebook ads. right? Now, conversion objectives is one of the main things that you should, apply immediately when you run Facebook ads without actually running it further. So I find that a lot of people, businesses and also marketers themselves, do not seriously set up conversion objectives with their Facebook ads before they start doing running ads. And that's a mistake, a huge, huge mistake. Now, number three, we're going to talk about how to optimize ads to Facebook objective. And then in 4, we're going to run an ad optimizing a conversion objective. So that sounds like a lot. Let's get started. All right. So first of all, what is a dark Facebook post? What's a dark Facebook post or what's an ad? Now, if you know this, say yes in the chat section so I know you don't know this. If you do not know this, just continue to watch this and I'll show you what it means. All right. Now, basically, a dark Facebook post is a post that does not appear on your Facebook page wall, but you use it as an advertisement. All right. So let me repeat that again. A dark post is a post that does not appear on your Facebook page wall. That means it's not a post that you go to your Facebook page wall and type in down your updates or photos and then click on post. You don't actually do that, right? So dark post is normally used for ads. It's created behind the ads manager, not on the forefront of your Facebook wall. It's created behind, and then you use it as an ad, right? Now, what's the pros of doing this? The pros of doing this would be with dark Facebook posts, you have a lot of social validation. That means your post, you can see the one on my right here, this post has a lot of shares. Let me just shift my face out of this picture so you can see. I noticed that this is actually blocking your view. So let me just shift myself out. I'm going to go and fly down here, all right? Super small right now. All right, so you can see in this little post here, right? There's a lot of shares and there's a lot of comments as well. So when you run an ad like this, a post like this on Facebook, when a customer, when your audience sees it, it feels like, oh, wow, you must be really popular because you have a lot of shares, you have a lot of comments on your post itself. So this is basically the function of a dark Facebook post, right? Now, number 2 is you avoid spamming your wall. You know, when you actually post a content on your Facebook wall, what you're actually doing is you are actually publishing that post to everyone, right? To everyone that is your fan on your page itself. So some of your audiences might want to see different kind of things. You might have 2 different types of audiences, or you might have 3 different audiences. Let's say maybe you're a gym, right? And you serve maybe 3 different kinds of audiences. One is very young people, maybe in college. The other would be elder people, right? So basically, when you post a normal post on your Facebook page, all 3 audiences sees the same post, and that does not give them that good experience as you want them to. So this is the function of a dark Facebook post. I'm going to show you how to do that, all right? And number 3, you only show posts to people who are interested, which is what I'm told you about. And the con to coming to dark Facebook posts is that it quickly gets ad fatigue if you keep using the same ad again and again. So I'm sure some of you have seen businesses who have actually put out advertisements, ads on Facebook that has a lot of comments, has a lot of shares. Have you seen that before on Facebook? Have you seen those kind of things? You see an ad, and the ad is like a normal post, but it's sponsored, but then it has a lot of likes, it has a lot of engagement, a lot of comments, and a lot of shares. And immediately you feel like, wow, this company must be doing well if so many people are commenting and sharing their sponsored posts, right? But that is known as a dark Facebook post. I'm going to show you how to do that. And before I show you how to do that, I'm going to show you an example of a dark Facebook post. So this is an example of a dark post running as an advertisement. All right. This company itself is a friend of mine. You can see that this post itself has been around since, it's really small here, but if you zoom in, you can see it has been around since September 4, 2017. That's nearly 3 years, right? So over 3 years, this exact post has garnered a lot of different likes, a lot of comments. You can see here, very small, 382 comments plus 156 shares, right? So what this business owner can do right now, or this page owner can do right now, is to run this post as an advertisement targeting different kind of people. All right, so let's get to an action. So to get to action, number 1, you have to see if you have a post that is doing really well. We can use that as an advertisement as well. Number 2, if you do not have a post that is doing really well, you have nothing, what you can do is you can create a new dark post with a strong offer. Okay. And number 3, run 2 AdSense on that dark post with one targeting an awareness objective and the other as a conversion objective ad. Okay, so I'm going to go into my Facebook ads right now. If you have questions along the way, please let me know. If I'm going too fast, I'll be happy to slow down and to re-explain things that I've explained if I did a bad job of explaining it. All right, so let's talk about running a dark post. Okay, let's go into ads. Let me just switch this into my Windows, and then I'm going to go into ads itself. Right, I think you can see me right now, yeah? Let me just pull this off into here. Okay, so I hope this is not too small. If it's too small, let me know, and I'll look at it and see if I can make it bigger. Okay. All right, so what you're looking at right now is my ads manager here. And what we can do is we can actually create a dark post. I'm going to show you how to do that immediately. So the way to create dark posts is you go into your ads manager, okay? And then what you want to do is you want to go down into page posts. Do you see that here? It's a bit small, but let me just zoom in. You can see page posts. Okay, so click on page posts, and this is within Ads Manager, yeah. So if to go to Ads Manager, you have to go to your business.facebook.com. So I'm going to take this and paste into you so you can see this. There you go. All right. So what's going to happen here is I'm going to change this to my page itself. Let's say DM submit. So you can see that I have a lot of pages in this Facebook account, right? And what you're doing here is you're creating a post from the ads manager of your Facebook ads manager. So simply click a post, for example, and you just create this as per usual. You can create a post with a link, you can create a post with a carousel post, you can create a photo post, a video, or even a status post, right? So for example, let me create a quick link post. I'm going to get a link. I'm going to paste this link down into URL. I'm going to say something like, maybe quick one, yeah, this quick one, because since we are just right here, how to join the biggest, let me just zoom so you can see this, the biggest data science and marketing summit in Malaysia, for example. Bad copywriting, but you get the idea. And then I'm going to click on, let's say, get offer, or learn more. Learn more is much better. All right. You can see in this small fine print here, how do you want to use this post, right? Do you want to use this post as an ad, or do you want to use this post as an ad and then it will be published on the page later as well? Now this really depends, right? So if you use this post for an ad only, your users won't see this on your Facebook wall. So this is known as a dark post, or commonly known as an unpublished post last time. So we're going to click on create post. All right, so once you have done that, right, now what's going to happen? Your post will be created, right? In fact, let me try to see if I can find this post. Not sure I can find that. But anyway, let me just refresh this and see if I can find the post once I created it. Okay, so let me see if I can find it by date. I don't seem to be able to find it, but that's fine. I'm going to go straight into the ads itself and create a dark post as an ad. All right, so we're going to go back into our ads manager. Can you see this ads manager? We're going to click on that, and then we're going to create a new ad based on our dark post. Okay, so what we can do right now is, let's say I will go into my DSM Submit account, because I created that post for DSM Submit page itself. So what we're going to do here is I'm going to click on create. Okay, and what we're going to do next is, let's say I create a post for traffic. Okay, so you will actually create the same thing. You will go into your campaign name and create something like, let's say this is a Hari Raya campaign, for example, right? Example, yeah. Continue. And then what we're going to do is we create the ad set name, or as per usual, some ad set, targeting maybe Malaysians. And then we go down, we choose our audiences, but I'm going to skip all this one for now, and I'm going to go straight into the creative part. Okay, so when you click on creative part, what we're going to do right now is we go into our formats here, And normally what you normally do is you would come here and you start creating a new image and to use videos or whichever you have to advertise, right? But what we're going to do differently right now is we're going to use an existing post. Do you see this here? Existing post. So with an existing post, we choose a post that we have created earlier. And for now, I'm going to choose that dark post itself. Okay, so I'm going to select post. You can see I use existing post, select post, and then what we're going to do is we're going to create and choose that post. Can you see this post here? This is a post I created a few seconds earlier, right? DM submit, join the biggest data science, right? And I'm going to click on continue. So right now, you can see that this is the post that I've created just a few minutes ago. Join the biggest data science and marketing summit in Malaysia with a learn more button. Now this post looks very simple, but this is known as a dark post. Now what's the significance of this? Now the significance of this is that I can run this exact same post to 4 or 5 different audiences. So I can test this same post to people who are 50 years old and above. I can test this post to people who are 40 years old and above. I can test this post to maybe people in, or I can test this by regions, right? I test this post to people in Penang, test this post to people in KL, test this post to people in Sabah, whichever, right? So basically with that same post, you start to get a lot of likes and comments and shares over time, and I can always use this post again and again and again, right? And the significant thing is this: if you go to Facebook and if you go into, for example, DSM Submit, you won't see this post appearing on my page itself because it's a dark post. Get it? So as we collect more and more likes, engagement, and shares on that post, when someone new sees that post as an ad, they'll feel like, wow, this post has so many likes and so many comments and shares. This must be a good company. This must be a good ad. So this is how people actually garner so many likes, comments, and shares on their Facebook ads that you see on Facebook. All right, so this is one technique for you that's called the dark post. If you have questions around that, let me know in the chat section. I'll look at it every now and then to make sure that you are following me right well. Okay, so that's a dark post, and yeah, that's how you create a dark post. All right, I'm gonna go back and close this off and not continue with this. All right, coming back to my slides again. All right, so we talk about running a dark post, right? Now let's talk about the second thing right now. So once you run a dark post, you can find a lot of ways to hack around and to create a kind of like social proof on your page itself. And it's really interesting to do that. All right, so the second thing I'm going inside is to always feed conversion data into Facebook, right? So how many of you are already doing conversions on Facebook? How many of you are tracking conversions on Facebook? Do you actually track conversions on Facebook? So one of the things is conversions are basically activities or events that happens on your website or as a result of someone seeing your ad. So most common examples are things like click to download brochure. So maybe you want someone to look at your ad, click on your ad, and then eventually download a brochure off your website. That counts as a conversion to you maybe, right? Second, it could be click on the button. So someone goes to your ad, click at it, go to the button and do something with the button. So you count that as a conversion. Now, number 3, maybe someone register for a webinar. Now, if your conversion always shows 0, then something is wrong. Now, conversion can be so many things. It can be sales, it can be someone click on something or do something, right? It doesn't have to be a sale conversion. So the misconception that a lot of people have is a conversion has to be a sale, something bought. But it can be so many different things, and I'm going to teach you how to set that up for your website, okay? So there are 2 things you can see right now. Let me just boost this out a bit since it's a bit small right now, yeah? So the first of all, let me just remove this. You can see that in Facebook ads, right, we have normally 2 types of metrics that you want to actually check, right? So the first metric would be, of course, your most important things that for your business, sales conversion. That's a primary metric, right? Lead collection is also a primary metric because that drives something towards your business itself. So if you look at my section here, I'm going to draw this arrow and point it here, yeah? All right, let me see if I can show you that. So if you look at this thing here, this here, cost per submit application. So what you're looking at right now is basically the cost per webinar registration for our webinars at lead, right? So you can see that average we run around 654 per lead, 3 ringgit 80 cents per lead, 3 ringgit 16 cents per lead. So that's our numbers, right? So what is your numbers? And this is really important when it comes to Facebook ads. Before you scale up your Facebook ads, you need to know these numbers. If not, don't do Facebook ads at all. All right. Now, a lot of people will actually go back into their secondary metric and they mistaken this for something important. Now, what is secondary metric, right? Secondary metric are things like link clicks. So if you're tracking your Facebook ads based on link clicks, if you're tracking your Facebook ads based on landing page clicks, that's a bad metric to look at. So what you want to look at is sales conversion, lead collection, something that drive the sales for your business, not link clicks, because you can get as many as 1,000 link clicks, but that does not mean your business will grow, right? You can get like thousands of landing page clicks, but if nobody buys your stuff, that's not going to get you going anywhere, right? So secondary metrics are things like this. You can see that on this screenshot here, I can have cost per result per landing page views. You can see that the example I have here is $1.22, $1.28, and for per messaging, we get 18 ringgit for some campaigns that we have run. All right, but that is a secondary metric, so it's a very bad metric to check. In fact. All right, so we're going to go into how to set your conversions up. So once you understand what a conversion is, you have to identify that for your own website itself. So you have to think about what drives a conversion for you. Most of the time, it's sales. Most of the time, it's like download something or a lead collection like I mentioned earlier. So if you don't know how to code, right? If you're not a coder, if you're not a programmer, what you can do easily is to use Facebook event setup tool to tag events in your website. So before I go into how to set this up for your website, let me show you how a conversion tag looks like, a conversion objective looks like. So if I go to my ads on Facebook, let me just switch my screen again. All right, so under my ads on Facebook, you can see that I have all sorts of different types of, let me just change this to something else, okay? I'm going to go into the lead.io, which is our main account, yeah? So you're seeing our real numbers from my account right now. And we don't normally show this to people, but I guess you guys are lucky today. Okay. So you're looking at our ads right now, and you can see that we spend a lot for different sort of things. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to zoom down into maybe the webinar here. Okay. All right. So in your ads account, if you scroll down and you look at your campaigns, I'm going to go right. You can see that we have all these secondary metrics with landing page views and cost per landing page view. Now, again, like I said, these are bad metrics to look at. This shouldn't be a good metric to look at. So what we look at is you look at the conversions, right? So how to see that? Now, first of all, let me show you how this looks like inside my account. If I click on columns, and I'm going to go into customize columns. Okay, let me move my face out of the picture again because I know I'm blocking you. I'm going to move this here. All right. So if I go into columns and I go into customize columns, I'm going to customize and put in a new report that shows me the exact number that I converted on this ad itself. So I'm going to look for application. So we call it application for some reason, for some unknown reason. I don't know why we call it application. So I'm going to add total. I'm also going to add the cost of the application submitted. Okay. Now, once I add that, you can begin to see for this campaign, the first one here, ML AI, that is machine learning and AI, we have 56 signups for this webinar. Now the cost per signup is 2 ringgit 47 cents. Not sure you can see this. Is it too small? Is it too small? Let me know if it's too small. Let me take a sip of water and let me know if it's too small. You can't see the conversion metric there. I hope it's not too small, yeah? Okay, cool. So thanks again for answering. You can see it clearly, yeah? So basically what you're seeing right now is the cost for conversion. So let me just show you this page itself in case you need to know. So for example, when someone comes to, this is the ad itself. When someone clicks on our ad, yeah? Let me just look at this ad. And Okay. Okay, let's go. So this is the ad itself. When someone comes and see the ad and then clicks on learn more, for example, goes into our website, okay, and then clicks on this button here, and then registers for the webinar, right? This you can see there's a webinar registration, right? So when they finish that registration, our Facebook ads reports will record one conversions here. So that's how it works. That's how conversions objectives works. Cost per application, website application submitted, we can see that 56, 17, and 24. So that's really, really important, right? Because if you do not track conversions, you wouldn't know which AdSense is giving you that conversion, which ads is giving you that conversion, which is better. So for example, in this screen here, you can see that version 2 is giving us more applications submitted compared to version 1. So version 2 is a winner compared to version 1. And in fact, the cost per acquisition in version 2 is also lower compared to version 1. Okay? Now, so if you don't have conversions objectives set up in your Facebook ads, that's something you should fix today. All right? But once you do, you can begin to start optimizing and start scaling your ads itself. All right, so how do we set up these events and objective conversions on your Facebook ads? It's really simple. What you want to do is you're going to go up to your ads manager, and then we're going to go into events manager. You see that here? All right, events manager. So after clicking events manager, we'll be brought to our events manager. So you can see that I have 2 pixels in this account. And what I'm going to do next is I'm going to choose the, let's say DSM submit pixel. Yeah, let's make it simple. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into settings. Okay. And then you can see down in settings, we have this thing called event setup. So this is a tool by Facebook for you to actually identify which elements you consider as an event in your Facebook page itself. So what you're going to do is click on Open Event Setup Tool. Okay, and then what's going to happen is it's going to ask you which website that you want to actually set up a conversion objective for. So let's say I'm going to choose DSM Submit, which is one of my websites that I'm running ads for. Open website. Now they're going to bring me into DM Submit, the site itself, right? So what's going to happen here is we can start to actually track different types of activities that we want to count as a conversion objective. So for example, I want to track this button. Can you see this button here? Watch all videos, workshop, and content. So let's say we want to track that. When someone clicks that button, we send back data to Facebook and say, hey, that's a conversion. All right. So the way to do this is to click on this window here called track new button. Okay. And then I just have to click on somewhere. So let's say I want to click on this button here. So click on this button. And what kind of event would you like to track? See? So let's say this event would be an initiate checkout event or a purchase event. So let's say initiate checkout. It's more of an initiate checkout because you haven't purchased that thing yet. So I'm going to click on initiate checkout. Okay. And then we're going to choose a value for that. So how much is this value to you? When someone clicks on this button, what's the value of that to you? Now you can leave this 0. You can leave this as a value if you don't want to. So I'm going to click on don't include value. And then I'm going to click on I understand and then confirm. Okay. Now once you do this, you can see that we have created a new event called initiate checkout. Right? Now this is when magic happens. So once you've done this, you have completed everything you need to do. Just go ahead and click on finish setup. Okay, so they say, oh, please review your events. We have initiate checkout. So I'm going to click on finish. All right, and that's it. Yes, and submit. That's it. Done. All right, and we're back here again. So what's going to happen next is when you go back to your account, let's say we go back to our DSM account and see our ads. Once you set up event tracking and also conversions, you can go back to your ads account. I'm going to go to my ads account, ads manager. And then we'll be able to track that initiate checkout thing. So if I go and look into my ads account here again, I'm going to go into ad sets. we'll be able to see, right, if you break down the columns by um, customized columns, and we break this down by the conversions, we'll be able to see the standard events that happen on our site itself. So for example, we can go into standard events, and then I'm going to click on initiate checkout. Let me find that. Let me see if I can find this. Initiate. All right, so you can see that checkouts initiated. We're going to click on total and apply this to our reports as well. So when you look at it, you can see that we have, there you go, website checkout initiated. So when someone clicks from your ad to your website and then he clicks on that button, you'll see numbers start coming up here. 1, 2, and 3. Of course, obviously right now it's 0 because we have just set the event tracking up. But once you've done this correctly, you'll be able to see numbers here. You can attribute that back to which ad set that gives you that clicks. You can attribute back to which ad creative that give you that click and more. You see that here? So that's how it works. That's how you set up event conversions on your ads and also website itself. All right, now if you have questions on that, let me know in the comment section so I can help you with that. If I explain it very badly, just let me know. I'll be happy to actually re-explain that again. Okay? All right, I'm going to go back to my slides. So right now, you should be able to set up your own event conversions. If not, rewatch back this video and learn how to do that. Okay, now moving on to my slides again. All right, so we have gone through this one here. I've shown you how to feed back conversion data back to your Facebook ads. And I think that's really important. Before you run any campaigns itself, make sure to have conversions tracking set up. All right, so next thing to do is once you have conversion set up, there's a few things that you should see on your ads before you scale them out. So let's understand how your conversions happen. This is really important, right? So we have conversion, which is great. We know which ad sets give us our conversions. We know which ad creative give us our conversions. But there are more questions you can begin to actually ask yourself. So here are some questions that you can begin to ask. And this is something that every Facebook advertiser should know as well. So, few examples. First question is, where did your users see your ad and converted? Maybe they see your ad on Facebook newsfeed. Maybe they saw your ad on Instagram. Maybe they saw your ad on Instagram stories. Now you need to know where your users come from, where the majority of them come from, right? Now, second question, what time did they convert? At night? In the morning? Could you save some costs by running ads at night and not in the morning? Right? You think about that. Number 3, where were they located? So for example, at Elite, when we run ads for our webinars, we want to know which location in Malaysia, KL, Penang, Johor, where did our conversions come from? All right. Number 4, are they female or male? So most of our webinar registrations, are they female users or are they male users? Now this all can be tracked using your Facebook Ads Manager. I'm going to show you how to do that. Very importantly, what devices were they on? Are they on a mobile phone? Are they on a desktop? Are they on a tablet? Which platforms contribute to the most conversions, right? If you run a video ad, do people watch a video with sound or do they watch it mute? And how did people respond to your ad? You know, in your ads, you have like, love, angry, and all that. Did people click on like, angry, sad, happy, or confused, right? Why do they do that? So these are just some examples. What do you think? Do you think there's any more questions that you can ask yourself? Any other questions you think you can ask yourself from this? Just put it down in the comment section so everyone can see this and also work together on that. All right, so there's a few questions you can ask. So before you go into Facebook ads, you have to ask yourself questions. And the reason for that is because there's so much data in there, you can get quickly lost in that sea of data. You would have to actually find out, right? Find out what you want to find out and then go inside there and dig. So let me show you how to do this. So if you go back to your Facebook ads, all right, so if you go back to your Facebook ads, it's really simple to do this. What we want to do is we're going to look at our conversions and then backtrack and see where these conversions came from. So for this example, I'm going to go into the lead. Okay, so this is my lead account, yeah, and I can use this same exact example I showed you earlier, this example of this webinar here. Let me just choose the webinar again, which is this one. Okay, and let's look at this campaign. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cancel off all this empty reporting so you can see this clearer. Just give me a minute to do that. I'm going to come inside here and I'm going to click off the different things that we don't want to see. Okay, I don't want to see unique link clicks. I don't want to see 3 seconds. I don't see percentage. Let me just turn off all of this one here. Okay, what I want to see is checkouts initiated. Not that as well. I want to see submit applications. All right? And the cost of it. Okay, apply. Now, what's going to happen here and what you're seeing right now is you're looking at the ad sets that I've created, 3 of them here, and their website application submitted and the cost per submit application. So these are basically webinar registrations on our ads itself. And this is the cost of the webinar registrations. Now, what I want to find out is, let's say, from 56 people here, yeah, you see 56 there, are these people male or female? So the way to do that is to go down into breakdowns. And we're going to go down and change this by delivery. And we're going to see the age and gender. We can see age and gender as well, how old they are. So click on this one here. And what's going to happen is your asset is going to expand. You can see that it expands, right? And we can see now a breakdown of our users. So are they female? Are they male? And is it more expensive for a female to sign up for a webinar? Or is it more expensive for a male to sign up for a webinar? All right, you can see that. All right, so I'm going to give you a few seconds to look at this one and let me know which one do you think is more expensive, getting a female user or getting a male user? Take a look at it right now. I'm going to move my picture off the way so you can see this, okay? All right, so which one is more expensive? Getting a female user or getting a male user? Well, what do you see? Male users, female users, which are more expensive? Now, it's a bit small, but if you can see this clearly, right? You can see that male users are cheaper compared to female users for us. And hey, we wouldn't have known that, right? If we didn't break this down and see by age and gender. I think that's very interesting. So what we can do is the next round when we run 2 different ad sets, one targeting male and one targeting the female to track and see. All right? And yeah, for landing page view, male users are more expensive. So there's something you can look at and feel, what can we do to optimize this and to reduce our ad spend? Okay? And if you notice the age, most of these people who submitted, you can see 20 of them is between the age of 25 to 34 years old. So the next campaign that I run, what I can do is I can turn off people who are aged maybe above like 45, no, maybe 45 to 54. We have not met many leads from here. Oh, we do actually have some leads from here, but you get the idea. What am I looking at is I'm looking at things that I can exclude off from my next campaign when I know all this data. Now let's look at more different things. So that's age and gender, right? But let's say we want to look at the regions now. We can see which region in Malaysia, right, is subscribing to our webinars. So for example, I can see most of them, let me just say, most of them are from Selangor. Can you see that? Selangor, people in Selangor cost us on average RM2.27 per lead. All right. Now what happens in Malacca? For Malacca or Malaccans, right, they cost an average of RM8 per lead, which is really much more expensive, 4 times more expensive than the people in KL and Selangor, right? So what I can do next time is I can say, hey, let's not target Malacca for now. Do we have any Malacca, Malacca customers anyway? Maybe not, right? We can change that to and focus all on Selangor, Kuala Lumpur, maybe. And you can see from here, Putrajaya, right? Only RM1.33. That's something we can look at. So there's so many things you can see within the breakdowns of your Facebook ads itself, but you only see this if you create your conversion objectives, which is really, really important. All right. Now let's look at more data here before we move on. one very important thing to look at is the platform and also device. So let's talk about the platform first. So which platform are they on? Do they see your ads from the audience network? Do they come from Facebook? Do they come from Instagram? Or where do they come from? Right? So from this example, I can see that most of our users come from Facebook. Now that doesn't mean you should actually ignore the rest, but that means you can actually look at, like for example, Instagram. We only have 8 people there, but Instagram gives us a lower conversion cost, which is at 1 ringgit 36 cents. So what we can do next is we can create a campaign and target both of these platforms separately. Now we look at audience network, right? We have a lot of clicks from there, not really a lot, but 30 clicks from there, but none of them actually came from audience network, right? So what we can do next, right, is when we create a campaign, let's say I go and create a campaign, and let's just say I'm creating this for example, okay? What we're going to do is when I come down to placements, very importantly, let's say if I know that audience network is not giving me any conversions, why do so many people still come inside here and leave this checked on, right? See this? Audience network native banner interstitial, rewarded videos and in-stream videos. We can just turn this off because we know that this is not giving us the conversions that we want. And we're just wasting money on these things, right? So as you run more and more ads, you begin to get more and more data. And you know precisely which things to turn off, you know precisely which things to optimize for, and which ones you should actually bump up your ads more. All right, questions. Do you have questions on this one? Is this useful for you or not? I've shown you very quick stuff here, but I think it's really impactful because once you dig dive into these things, you'll be able to see a lot of different data. All right, let's look into more. Yeah, one more before we go on. So the next thing you want to see is you want to see things like devices. Do our users come on the mobile phone or do they come on a desktop? So I'm going to go down into placement and device. This is really interesting as well. Okay. So we can see, I'm going to scroll this to, okay, so focus on the application submitted and also the cost per submit application. Okay, so we can see that on audience network, whether it's on a mobile app, Android smartphone, Android tablet, iPad, iPhone, we have no conversions from there whatsoever. So I think it's a good safe to say we can turn off audience network. It does not work for us, right? Coming down here, we can see Facebook stories also did not give us anything. Now Facebook desktop gives us 4 landing page view, 3 registrations, and very interestingly, on Facebook newsfeed, on a mobile app, we had 34 conversions at a lower cost as well, at 1 ringgit 81 cents. So this tells us that we should create mobile-friendly advertisements and target mobile users because these are people giving us the conversions. Desktop is not really active, right? You can see here, Facebook, iPhone, 23 conversions. On an iPad, only 1. Maybe you should just turn this off, right? There's no conversions either. All right, on the desktop, from the right column, the ad on the right column, we had 3 landing page views, which we spent, but no conversions. But from a mobile app, on Instagram, okay, Instagram, we had 4. And you can see that Instagram is really cheap as well, 71 cents. So I think that's something we can look at as well. All right, so enough for showing you all this. I want to see, you know, if this is helpful for you or not. I know I'm rushing through a lot of things because this is supposed to be a 1 hour session, but do you see the importance of looking at your conversions and then breaking it down into the placements, into the time, into the devices, into the age and gender and all these things to understand where your conversion is coming from so that you can optimize towards the correct way and then scale your ads up. So this is the way to actually increase your scalability on Facebook ads. Without knowing this, don't ever scale your Facebook ads because you're going to run and waste a lot of money on Facebook ads. Okay, now last but not least, once you know all these things, right? Once you know all these things, you know how to do your conversion objectives, okay? And once you know how to backtrack them into breakdowns and see where they come from and identify all this, now it's time to go for revenue, go for the kill, right? With a conversion objective ad. So when you know the data, it's time to scale. So how do you scale? So for example, I'm gonna go back to my ads again. Now to scale the ads, remember that we created the conversion objectives. right? So the next time when you run an ad, you want to run your ads based on the conversion objectives that you want. So let me just start this all over again so you don't get confused, okay? So create new campaign. So the next thing you're going to do next time is to come back into your new campaign, go down into conversions, okay? So instead of running a traffic ad, you want to go into conversions. Now, why is this important? When you run a conversion ad, you basically tell you basically tell Facebook who you are after, okay? So you click on continue, and under ad sets itself, you can see that we can choose conversions right now, right? So optimization for ad delivery, this is really important because what we are doing right now is we're telling Facebook who we want to get on our ads. So if you set up your conversions, you'll be able to choose different types of conversions. So I'm going to select the pixel. For example, I'm going to select the lead.io's pixel, okay? And I'm going to retrieve my events. So from here, you can see that I have so many different types of events, right? Initiate checkout, add to cart, submit application, which is the webinar registrations. So let's say I want to optimize my ad to collect more registrations for my webinar, right? So what I do is I click on submit application, which is basically a conversion out of webinar registrations, right? And when I choose this and run the ad like this, right? What I'm doing is I'm telling Facebook and say, hey, I want to get more people who have actually done or who most likely do a webinar registration on my website. And the machines will get to work. The Facebook algorithm will get to work and find people that most likely will actually click and register for your ad itself based on data from the past campaigns that you have done, based on your conversion objective data. So coming down here, do this as per usual. Target your audiences, choose the placements. Remember, the placements, you want to choose places that you know that people can convert. And then coming down here, you can choose your spending controls and whatnot, and just run the ad as per usual. Okay, and Facebook will actually find people who would most likely do the same activity, the same event conversions that you want and you are after. All right, so this is basically what I want to show you today. I'm going to stop here for a minute for any questions that you may have. All right, let me know if you have questions. If not, I'll go on in a short while, okay? I'm going to stop here for a while and I'm going to go off. I know this is a bit messy because it's my first time running a YouTube live session and I didn't expect the video to be loaded so funny. So I promise to actually improve the next time I run a YouTube live session like this. All right. But yeah, if you have questions, let me know right now. I'll stop here for a few seconds before I move on to the next things. All right, so no questions. I'm going to move on and go on to the next other things before I end today's session, yeah? So the next thing I want to talk about is I want to introduce you to our new program called Growth Marketing 360. All right, it's not a new program actually. It's been around for some time. It's just that we rebrand it to Growth Marketing 360. I'm going to show you why we have rebranded it and what's inside it, okay? So at this point, you probably feel like maybe it's time to scale my business revenue, right? And I will encourage you to scale your business revenue with smarter marketing. So don't just go out there and guess what to do, simply click there, you know. But what you want to do is you want to scale your marketing based on data and also creativity. All right, so I'll introduce you to growth marketing. Now, the next thing you have here is, what if you can take the guessing out of marketing? So basically, you combine data, like I showed you earlier, with a bit of creativity, and that gives you growth marketing, right? Marketing that actually sees results instead of just trying to guess and guess. So too many people are trying to guess things around, and I don't think that works very well for them. So there are two options for you from here. One is to continue consuming content that I do for free, right? In pieces here and there. That's your marketing, research online, and move on slowly with or without support. That depends. And this is not a wrong option to go, but it's just slow. All right. Now, what I'm trying to tell you is to go for option two. Option two is to learn growth marketing strategies, build your website by this weekend. By this weekend, yeah, grow your business revenue, get support for your work from a marketing practitioner. So I want to introduce you to Growth Marketing 360. It's a course, a complete course, and I call this a full stack growth marketing program. A full stack because you learn different types of digital marketing capabilities from Facebook ads, Google ads, let me just make this, Google ads, SEO, content marketing, and really a lot more that will give you that edge towards marketing your business, right? And for those of you who do not have a business yet, in fact, you'll learn how to make your first $100 in the first few lessons. We're going to build a landing page for that, and that's going to help you to actually drive sales. Okay, so what's inside Growth Marketing 360? Basically, there's 4 live online classes via Zoom, not YouTube Live, because YouTube Live is just too laggy for me, to my liking. We're going to do this via Zoom. It's going to be on the 16th, 17th, 30th, and 31st of May 2020. All right. So this is going to be from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m., 4 sessions in total, and all these sessions will be recorded, which I'm going to show you in a while. Now, there's also going to be 2 full days physical classes. This will be in-person physical classes at Swofo, somewhere next in Petaling Jaya. And this will be scheduled on the 25th and 26th of July. This is going to be full day, so it's 9 a.m. up to 5 p.m. Right? And you also get access to a class learning platform, which is our online learning platform with 8+ hours of online training and also content that we have built out through the months and years of running our digital marketing courses, right? And you'll be personally trained by me, Ruben. So some of you might have this question: what about the physical classes, the MCO? And we totally understand that the MCO is definitely affecting everyone. And maybe when we run the physical classes next in July, you might feel like, I'm afraid to go for a class. I'm not comfortable going for a class yet. And we totally understand that. So for that reason, right, every physical class will be live streamed and also recorded. So if you're not in the class itself physically, you'll still be able to watch it online. And if you miss that online live session, it will also still be recorded. So you can actually watch and go through again. All right. So of course, the best experience is to come in person in the physical classes itself. But if you cannot make it, you're still able to come and watch the live stream and see the recordings. Now, there's going to be 4 live online training classes, like I mentioned earlier. This will be done over Zoom. This is going to be on the 16th, 17th, 30th, and 31st May. All of them are weekends, 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. And again, all these sessions are also recorded and added to your class platform account. Okay. So your instructor for this program is me, Ruben, and I'm currently head marketing and lead, right? But some of the companies I helped so far and also inspired and work with are people like CapitaLand, History Channel, Nando's, QDs, Sony Malaysia, Heineken, and it feels weird to talk about myself, but yeah, I'm going to skip past this one because it feels weird to talk about myself. Anyway, let's go through the training modules. There are 10 training modules, right? I'm going through quickly with you. So module 1 will be Introduction to Growth Marketing, right? So you'll be learning things like the growth formula for businesses. So how do you bring your business from 0 to the next level using a growth formula, right? So that growth formula will involve getting leads, getting more core audiences, upping your frequency, and more. So in module number 2, we're going to talk about conversions itself and sales funnels. So you might have heard of sales funnels, and sales funnels are not softwares. Some people have the misconception of, sales funnels are basically softwares, ClickFunnels or Instapage or whatever. Now, sales funnels are not softwares. They're basically systems that you build around your marketing plan, right? And we're going to learn how to build that for your business itself. In module 3 and module 4, module 3 itself, very important, we're going to build your high converting website. So that is, most businesses today will need a website today, right? If you're not searchable online, you basically don't exist. So it's really important to have a website for your business itself. And in module 3, we're actually going to build a website using WordPress. Okay, you're going to remarket your audiences who land on your site and put up analytics on your site also. In module 4, we're going to go into SEO, that is search engine optimization, and we're going to implement content marketing strategies to grow your business itself. And I'm going to show you ways to actually rank number 1 on Google with SEO. All right, in module 5 and 6, this is where we're going to build revenue through social media. So social media is something very important today, right? We all do social media training. We all do social media on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. So we're going to learn that and look at ways to actually grow our business through social media. In module 6, we're going to scale our business with paid traffic. Now, when I say paid traffic, that means Facebook ads, Google ads, things basically you pay to get traffic. So that is paid traffic. Module 7, Module 8, this is where we go into email marketing and also some creative marketing extra. Creative marketing extra will mean things like creating videos, okay? Creating videos and also going live on social media, or even running a webinar itself. So you're going to learn these kind of like strategies to grow your business itself. And last but not least, Module 9 and Module 10 is when we go into advanced analytics. So we're going to uncover revenue insights with Google Analytics. So Google Analytics is something really important. If you run a website today, there's a lot of data that you can get from Google Analytics. And we're going to go into these things and learn how to set all these things up for your site itself. And in Module 10, we're going to go beyond digital marketing. We're going to talk about things like programmatic advertising, which is something that a lot of marketing courses do not talk about. And I think that is important because if you run and scale a business, you might want to look into other platforms aside from things like Facebook or Google. There's a lot of other platforms that you can still leverage on. Okay, so in a nutshell, you'll be learning things and you'll be using tools like some of these tools here. So you'll be using things like Google Optimize to do A/B testing. You'll be using things like email softwares like GetResponse and also MailChimp to run email marketing campaigns, Google Tag Manager to do event tracking, and also to tag different types of things on your site. Of course, you'll be building websites with WordPress. Now, why WordPress? Because WordPress is easy to use, it's SEO friendly, and for someone who is a marketer, who is not a coder, you get to build your site fast, right? You're gonna go into things like SEMrush, which is an SEO software, a keyword tool, and also to track your backlinks and more, and things like Lucky Orange for video heat mapping, and also video tracking, and Google Analytics for analytics, and of course Facebook, YouTube, your users to do advertisements and also to run social media campaigns there. All right, so let's talk about the physical classes itself, right? So the physical classes will be run on the 25th and 26th of July. Now, all these classes will be live streamed and recorded as I mentioned itself. So in any case, you feel not comfortable of being in a class, or maybe the government don't allow us to run a very big class, fine. You can always watch this from home and even watch the recordings. All right. And you also get access to an online class platform, which is our online learning platform where all the content are inside. So basically, once you register, maybe you register after this itself, you'll be able to follow through all the videos that I've recorded and also gone step by step to build your site, to get up your analytics on your site itself. And within the first few videos itself, you'll be able to actually build your site. That's what I can tell you. Okay. Now, Digital Marketing 360 is not something new. It has been around for some time. It's just that we've rebranded it into Growth Marketing 360. So the reason why we actually rebranded to Growth Marketing 360 is because in Digital Marketing 360, we focus so much on tools, right? So we focus on things like, oh, how do you use Facebook ads? How do you use Google Analytics? How do you use this and use that, right? We focus so much on tools, but we forget the growth part about business. So we change our whole methodology in a way that it's not so much about the tools that you use, it's more about your strategy of marketing, right? How do you set up proper sales funnels and then use the tools to help you do that? So we felt that our methodology was opposite. So now we have changed it to growth marketing. So we'll learn how to grow your business and use digital marketing tools. But anyway, this screenshot here is basically students who have been to our programs in Digital Marketing 360, and they have actually found success in some of their sites. And these are just some of these people who are using digital marketing to grow their business every single day. Now, to let you know, Growth Marketing 360 is also a lifetime deal. Now, what do I mean by a lifetime deal? A lifetime deal means once you only pay once, or you get access forever itself, right? And I don't think any other academies or courses or companies in Malaysia do this at all. Okay, so let me explain. So there are two lifetime deals in Growth Marketing 360. The first lifetime deal is lifetime access to a private support group. That means as a student in Growth Marketing 360, you have access to a support group that is connected to me, the other instructors, and also all the other students that are inside our platform itself, right? So you can ask questions anytime. So basically when you have questions, you can just go into, we use Slack app, just type a question, and within a few minutes, someone will reply and help you on that. And you get lifetime access to the whole student support group itself, right? So during the class itself, during the course, or even after the course itself, as you go on in your marketing activities, you can always come back and get your questions answered, right? This is something that we support and we give to all our students. Now, the lifetime deal number 2 is a lifetime access to all Growth Marketing 360 classes. So what does this mean? Now, you know that we have physical classes, live training classes, and also the online content, right? So the lifetime deal number 2 means you have lifetime access and updates to the online class learning platform, to the chat support, and all the classes. So in case, for example, you miss out on the physical class in July, and you want to come back during a physical class in, let's say, October or November, you can come back and no extra charge as a student. So all our students get this benefit. Basically, they can come back to any classes at no extra charges to refresh what they have learned. And things get updated in the world of digital marketing, right? We know Facebook ads get updated. We know Google ads get updated here and there. And you can always make use of this, come back to a physical class and refresh what you have learned. So this is something that we offer to all our students in Growth Marketing 360 as well. So in a nutshell, what you get out of the program, basically proper marketing strategies and techniques to grow your business revenue, right? And number 2, very importantly, is you identify and no more guessing when it comes to marketing your business. Now, the beauty of digital marketing is we now can track every single thing and find insights in every single thing. So there's no need to actually guess anymore, right? So a lot of people do guess marketing, right? They come into, for example, Facebook, and they start to think, who's our audience? Who should we target today? I think this will be better, this will be better. But that's all based on guessing and assumption, right? And we don't want to do that. With digital marketing, with growth marketing, we can actually begin to identify who to target, what is working, and then work towards that to scale. Now, number 3, you can get help, second marketing opinions. So let's say you're doing marketing campaigns and you need someone to actually give you some advice or some second opinions. You can always go back to the student support group and get help anytime, right? And get support for any digital marketing related tasks anytime you need. Just go back to the Slack group and ask questions. Now, Growth Marketing 360 is starting off this weekend. That's on the 16th, right, of May. It's going to start off this weekend, and in the first class itself, we're going to build a website. So that means you're going to learn how to build a website with WordPress. And I'm talking about a proper website, yeah? If you're curious about how a WordPress website looks like, just go to the lead.io, and that's a WordPress website. So our website at Lead, right, is all built using WordPress. Right, if you just go to these sites, the lead.io, go to sites like DSM Submit. These are all sites built with WordPress. So in the first class itself, you'll learn how to build your own website using WordPress. And on top of that, because you're going to be building a website, we make it easier for you to get started. So we're going to include you a free premium theme called DV, which is something that we use as well in Lead as well. So DV is a drag and drop builder. You can go and Google it. Go and Google DV builder and see how easy it is to use. Basically, it's a drag and drop builder where you just have to drag and drop different types of things from your text, from your images, from your videos, and you don't have to learn coding to do anything on your site itself, right? So because we know our students have to build a website, and we're going to make it easy for them, we're going to give you this theme for free when you join the course itself. And of course, to make things easier for you as well, we're going to give you free hosting as well. So all you really need to do is to buy your own domain. Now, what's a domain? A domain is the name of your site. For example, www.yourbusiness.com, that's a domain name. So really all you have to do is buy a domain name. The WordPress theme will be given to you. You'll be taught how to build a WordPress site. You'll be taught how to build it from scratch, and you'll be given free hosting for a year as well. Now, the reason for this is the reason why we build a website is because digital marketing runs around a site itself. It's not so much about using just Facebook or using just Instagram or whichever. It revolves around your website. When you have a website, you begin to be able to see different types of analytics. You'll be able to do a lot of different things, including sales funnels and all that. So it's so important to have a website. But the problem is, a lot of students come and learn digital marketing without a website. So that's really counterproductive, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to teach you how to build a website, but keep in mind that this course is not going to be focused on building a website. We're building a website because you need one. right? But once you learn how to build that, you can take it further and continue to expand upon your site itself. It's yours to use basically. All right, so um, in a nutshell, let me just explain everything in a nutshell, and I'm going to go into Q&A. Okay, so Growth Marketing 360 starts on 16 May, which is this Saturday. So this Saturday, we have a session at 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. That's going to be 3 hours in total. And we're going to learn how to build our first website in this first session itself. So 16, 17 means Saturday and Sunday, which is this weekend. Both days are going to be from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. You're going to get homework as well to go and build a site itself. So these live online classes are supposed to kickstart you into the world of growth marketing and also building a site itself. And then we're going to continue on the 30th and 31st of May. That is 2 weeks from now to continue the learning in Growth Marketing 360. And it's also going to be from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. So lock in your dates, yeah? And there's going to be 2 full days physical classes. This is going to be a longer session, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m., where you're going to come in person, also meet me in person. This is going to be done in Suofu. That's in Sunway Nexus in Petaling Jaya on the 25th and 26th of July. Again, these physical classes is going to be recorded and also live streamed at the same time. So you can watch this live. You'll also have the recordings of it. Okay. Now, when you register as a student, you also get 8+ hours of video lessons and content inside our class platform. So our class platform is basically an online learning platform where we have all the content and also recordings from the past sessions all uploaded there. And of course, you get your 1-year hosting and Divi WordPress theme. Again, this is not a website building class, but because you need a website, we have to teach you how to build a site. Okay? And you have your student support group based on Slack. And finally, this is a lifetime deal. So a lifetime deal means you have always access to come back to any physical classes and all the updates in the video lessons, all the updates in the live online classes whenever you want it. Okay? Next year, end of this year, next 2 years later, you can come back at no extra charges. We will never deny you from coming to a class. All right, so Growth Marketing 360 is now available at $2,997. Yeah, what's the original price? Let me just quickly check it out. I forgot the original price itself. So the original price of Growth Marketing 360 is at 3,229. Yeah, 3,229. But right now we are opening it up at 2,997 before we actually change it later on. So if you're interested in this, I have the link here. It's called thelink.io/growth. And once you register, you'll be inside the program immediately, and I'll see you this Saturday. All right, so I'm going to go into Q&A for a few minutes before I go off this session. I know I've taken some of your time. It's now 9:15, 9:13 in fact. So let me just see this one. All right, so this is the program here. Join. Marketing trees. Start this weekend. All right, so I hope to see you in Growth Marketing 360. Now I'll stop here for any questions that you may have, and I'll be happy to take any questions that you have and answer before I go. I'll stay here up to 9:20 p.m. yeah, before I go off. But anyway, if I went too fast, if I went too fast on the earlier ads manager and all that, please let me know. I'll be happy to help you with that while I'm still here today. Okay, let me just go and change this. Now, in fact, coming back to here, I just remember that I probably have missed out a few things earlier on. So one of the things you can also look at, close without saving. One of the things you can look at in Facebook ads, right, is to come into the ads itself, for example, like this one here. And you can see that we have a few videos in this one. So videos are really something that you should run on Facebook ads because it gives you a bigger reach and also more interest basically. So if I look at this ad here, what we can do is we can begin to look at and break it down by action as well. All right. So by action means we can break it down by whether people watch your video with sound or without sound. So that's something really interesting. So if I choose video sound, I can also go back to my columns and change this to video engagement, right? And what I can do here is I can begin to see whether people watch my video. Okay, sorry, this is a bit laggy right now. Okay, I can see if people watch my video with sound or without sound. Oops. Okay, let me just refresh my screen here. I think the screen is lagging right now. All right, there we go. All right, so we can see video sound off, on and off, right? So if your ad has sound, if you have a video ad, you can see basically if people played your video with sound or without sound. So here's a fact, right? Up to 60-70% of people on Facebook watch videos without sound. So they just watch a video and look at the subtitles itself. So it's really important that your video ads has subtitles as well, because if it doesn't, then they won't get the context of what you're trying to say or do in the video itself. Now I'm not sure what happened to my screen right now. I seems to be off screen right now. Let me just pull this in back and resume it back. There we go. YouTube Live is annoying. All right, so we can see, right? Something is wrong. Okay, anyway, I'm not sure what's gone wrong in my screen here, but you get the idea, yeah? You can see that we have video sound off, right? And we can see how many of them actually played with sound on, sound off, and what's the conversions and what's the results of that. All right, so please go ahead and play around with this. And you can see that most of the video plays here is with sound off. 2, 3, 4, 6 of them. And none of them actually played with sound on. So something very important, as you can see here, if I run a video that has no subtitle, then I'll be in trouble because everyone is watching this without sound. Something to think about. All right, so there's no more questions. Again, if you're interested in Growth Marketing 360, I'll see you in the class this weekend itself. If not, no worries, you can always come back for my free content and also to stick around and get more updates from us. And again, thank you for joining this session. And I guess I'll see you in the coming Saturday, or I'll see you in the upcoming sessions and webinars and also workshops that we do. Thank you again and have a good one, and bye-bye.